are some comparisons that can be made to say that Moja is like the European Hon Mono. I think I would have said that was Ziggy back in the day. Ziggy was more known for being very chaotic and very aggressive, but Moja is very similar, specifically in TvP. Like, we have seen a lot of all-ins, a lot of cheese out of Moja, but we'll see how he approaches this matchup instead. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the yellow Zerg player, the Swedish Zerg representing Team Brody. It is Fjant. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player, the German Terran. It is Moja. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Cat would have lost anyhow. Oh no. Well, your final chance to gamba, papi. True. Este peon. Bienvenidos. So we go. But again, in my mind, Moja is typically an aggressive player. One of two things, either hyper aggression or mech, right? That's what I'm used to when it comes to Moja. He's on clan 8 racks, and back when 8 racks were more viable, we would see a lot of 8 racks out of Moja as well, but that was back in the day, right? Like, that was a year ago, just under a year ago at this point. But now, hatchet gas pool, standard opener out of Fjant. Standard opener. Up. Rax expands, and from here we'll see how we tech up. Do we go into a factory? Do we go into a second Rax? Do we go into a faster CC? And likewise, Fjant, we were just expecting Hatch Gas Pool into a third. Fjant, I don't really think he's much of a Roach Boy too much, not compared to some of the other Zerg players out there. We're expecting Ling Bane, but I'll be honest, I haven't really seen much of Fjant this patch. He's not the most active of players. He doesn't play in the most open cups either, so I can't really speak with too much certainty whether he's been playing much of this Roach heavy style that we've seen from the Korean Zerg players, or we've been seeing more of this Muta heavy style, which we have also seen sprinkled in as well. As now Link Speed is going to be on the way. Getting to Link Speed, Fjant does pull out, so standard follow-up. Meanwhile, Moja going for his own 1-1-1. Ooh, okay, so delayed third CC. Hyper aggression out of Moja, going for Reactor Hellion and going for faster Banshee play behind this, or even Liberator play as well. Moja, he's committing a little bit harder here. And we'll see if this leads into, like, say, a Hellbat push. We'll see where this goes. Oh, not Hellbats. This is going into BC. Fusion Core. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen a BC rush like this. There's no second Starport, but we are missing that to add on here. Should be working on it soon. For now, popping out Hellions. The Yola is going to confirm. No anti-air. So usually, I don't know if you noticed, but this Starport was left idle for a bit. Usually you go Fusion Core into Viking, and then the Viking denies your Overlord Scout, and then you can embrace your BCs. But here, Fjant sees everything. There was no Viking. The Starport was just left idle, and Moja was banking resources.
Our base is under attack.
Yeah, a bit of an inefficient follow-up here. Hellies, they do bust in. 6 drones. Oh my god. Yeah, drones are getting roasted. 7 getting up to 8. One more volley. Ooh, not quite. 7 drones go down. Still nice damage here from Moja. At least Fjant is fully aware of what's coming his way, going for a Roach behind this, but we'll see if he can keep up with the BCs. Remember, it's very common to go BC into mech. BC into mech is very, very common, and we did allude to the fact that Moja is one that is fond of mech in this matchup if he doesn't all in. Lings, they try to distract, but Hellions, they will shut them down. Lair is still on the way. There's the armory for Hellbats for the mech upgrades. And the BC's coming. And again, Moja was able to do some nice economic damage initially here, and we'll see if he can follow this up with the battle cruisers. How many queens? So far, 4. So far, only 4 queens. Lair is on the way, spores are on the way. Fjant has to re-drone what he's lost. He has to resaturate. We'll see if Moja can pull this off. Moja. As he's going for another dive. And I believe there are 0 roaches. Without roaches, it's going to be a tough hold. Here comes the BC. We're diving in. We're committing. We're pulling a bit of a knicker act. Yeah, Hellbat say morph in. We're pushing towards the natural. Boys being pulled away. Fjant does evacuate. He's trying to buy time for the roaches, but he gets caught. They're losing 1 queen. I believe there's 4 left. Sorry, 5. There's 5 queens left. Now pushing into the main. There's nowhere left to run. He has to try and fight. He will lose another queen. Last chance to use, but there we go. 2nd queen, 3rd queen, 4th queen, 5th queen goes down. All the queens are falling. And do we get into the mineral line? That's the real question here. Can we get into that mineral line instead? Roaches are trickling in. Moja, he wants the drones. He wants the... Oh my god. 1 more shot. 4 drones. He gets 4 drones so far. The Hellbats are breaking through. He's waddling down the ramp. He wants the drones, Pappy. Get out of here. And he's being cleaned up. Okay, the roaches are trickling out. The Hellbats are being cleaned up. Every queen goes down. There's still 1 Hellbat. Yeah, there's still 1 Hellbat in the mineral line. Does roast it up. 10 drones going down. The 1 Hellbat remains. 12, 13, 14, 16. Behind this, Yamato 3rd TC. Extra factories being thrown down as well. Moja building up into that next wave. And here come more Hellions as well. We're still not done. Everything's on fire. And Moja, he is doing it. He's overwhelming Fjant. He's overwhelming Pappy. Oof. Turns they pop out in the face of the Hellbat. 25 kills. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Dave Test in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. Assuming it was ladder session. No, sorry, my apologies. I believe you were casting the Patches tournaments. Patches mod tournament, I believe. So hope you had a good time. Hope you had some fun. Dave. No? Okay. My apologies. Ladder. Regardless, hope you had a good time. Didn't even know what was going on, just playing PTR. Fair enough. But regardless, thank you so much. Hope you have a great evening. Hope you enjoyed your time in the PTR. Hope you enjoyed. And big shout out to Dave, who is one of the big names and big organizers behind the KSL. So if you're a fan of the Korean StarCraft League, you're a fan of Dave. True. Thank you so much. Gracias. As Yamato's almost complete. 1 BC teleports away. 2 seconds. 1. Oh, isn't quite it. I feel like we could have gotten 1 Yamato off before the teleport, but regardless, teleports back home to defend. Ling round by will not catch a Hellion. Moja, he does hold back at home, and Moja has a superior economy. Moja, he's on 3 bases, 60 SCVs plus mules. A massive economy here for Moja. Fjant still on 50 drones. Still re-droning, recovering. Moja's Fjant, he has a ways to go here to build back up, to build up his economy, and then to focus on the army as well. He's got 0 upgrades as well. He has link speed, no roach speed, no evo chambers, no upgrades, no spire upgrades either. Fjant, he's limping along. There is still a chance here where maybe Fjant can catch some stray units here and there and try to catch Moja before he gets out of hand and out of control. Essentially, Fjant is all in. Fjant is all in. That's why there's no 4th base, and that's why there's no full saturation of the 3rd. It's all or nothing for Fjant. He knows he cannot get into a macro game from here. There's no macroing after all that damage. Oof. Remember, these are slow roaches. They get bullied back. And now we start droning. It's a hard call to make. It's a hard call to make, but droning has occurred. Gases are on the way. Fjant here, he admits he cannot kill. He admits that he cannot kill Moja, so he backs off. He starts droning up, and the hope here is that Moja leaves him alone. And Moja is playing mech, and if this was like a mech transitioning into a more traditional like tank Viking style, then maybe, but it's battle mech. So Moja, he does not back up. He just keeps rallying across the map, and Moja's hit an A move. He's hit an A move back. Lings, they do counterattack. A nice run by here, but there are Lings, there are Cyclones. Oh, nah, Moja turns around. Moja, he does turn back around. He F2'd. He F2'd for a moment there, now focusing on the assault. He defends back at home. We'll lose 9 SCVs. That's good damage, don't get me wrong. But Moja's still ahead. Moja still ahead. Yamada's a Corruptors, and I's a base. Battlemaker's pushing in. And again, Fjant cannot stop this. It was just a rough start. Fjant did scout the build, if you recall, but Fjant also lost 6 drones at the start of the game. And GG. GG gets called. Moja takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Moja, he will take a lead in the series. Now we're going to be jumping into game 2. Oh boy, we'll see if Fjant can recover. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if Moja can close it out here and now. So we load into Winter Madness. Winding it back, remember, Moja, he went for, I would say, an inefficient like BC opener because he got scouted. Fjant was fully aware, but if you recall, we still had the Hellion run by, the Hellion dive. Drones still got roasted, and Fjant, he stumbled his way into the early to mid game. And with that, he had a weaker defense here against the initial Hellbat BC, and he wasn't quite able to afford his roaches because of the losses early on. It was a very messy defense and wasn't a defense in the end. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be loading into game 2. Going to be loading into Winter Madness. Let's go. Going to be loading in. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the Swedish Zerg player. We have the yellow Zerg representing Team Ruddy. It is Fjant. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player, the German Terran, leading the series 1-0. It is Moja. Let us go. As Moja, he does open up with the proxy. He sends out 1, 2, 3 SCVs. Again, there's a reason why at the beginning of the series we gave the comparison of Moja to Honmono, where Moja, he's arguably like the European Honmono at the moment. I still stand by saying that back in the day, like Ziggy would have been a better fit for Honmono, but nowadays it's Moja who's the animal. Yeah. Going for a BC rush in game 1 and going for a proxy 3 racks here in game number 2. Remember, there's no gases here. It's going to be a bunker rush, mass marine, and he's hoping that Fjant does. Oh, we're going to get rowdy. As Fjant goes to the proxy hatch blocker across the map. Oh boy, who do we favor? Okay, so it's going to be hatch gas pool out of Fjant standard build, and we'll see how Moja responds. As Moja, he's going to be looking to assault the natural base, but there will not be a natural available here. I do like this hatchery providing for a bit of a counterattack. Remember, there's nothing at home. There are 0 units back at home to defend, so a couple of links spawning in from this hatchery will kill everything, and Moja will have to evacuate. He'll have to either lift and evacuate or rally back home. One or the other, but I believe the wall off will not be done in time. We'll see. We'll see how the wall does get constructed. Fjant's going for another hatchery. This will delay the queen. This will delay specifically the second queen, which would have been across the map, to be fair. Yeah, Moja now throws down the bunker, scouts the main. It's going to be one base roach. Quick reaction there by Fjant. Very quick reaction. Yeah, cancels the low ground. Good call. Gives up on the low ground. Lings are morphing across the map. As you mentioned, there's a very low chance that there's going to be full wall in time. So these Lings, they can wreak havoc. And Moja's all in. It's all or nothing. Spine crawler's on the way. Gas mining is being denied. True. Doesn't like gas. Gets 1, 2, 3 drones. Oh no! Almost gets surrounded. We'll lose one Marine. Yeah, 1 Marine goes down, a 2nd Marine as well. These are heavy. 3 Marine kills. Big overextension from Moja. That should not have happened. 3 Marines go down. A bunker is going to be denied. And some big miscontrol here from Moja. At the same time, Lings, they get across the map. They do try to poke up the ramp. They're working on the wall. And Moja turns around. Oof, he turns everything back home to defend. Fjant, he's successfully defended. Now he's building up roaches, and now we can go for a roach all in as roaches are morphing across the map. Yeah, the roaches are coming. Moja is racing back. Roaches, they can start to focus on their CVs. Going for the depot instead. There we go. Gets 1, gets 2. Marines, they've made it back home. Does Moja clean this up? There are 3 roaches. Late reaction. Yeah, Moja had a late reaction there. Stayed on creep, losing 3, losing 4 roaches. Sorry, 4 marines, I meant to say. And can still clean this up. Lings are popping out. And Lings, they do barely pop out in time. Nice cleanup, every marine falls. And Moja, he breaks through. He keeps on breaking through. And again, the reinforcements are so late. We're rallying from across the map. Very late reinforcements. Very rough defense here from Moja. GG gets called. GG gets called. And with that, Fjant ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We're going to the ace match here. It all ends on game 3 on Tourmaline. Again, a very chaotic game here as we had a proxy 3-racks against a proxy hatchery out of Fjant. As he mentioned, Moja, he failed to break the main base. The spine crawler was on. I will say that Moja did have some miscontrol, if you remember. He, for like 1 or 2 extra seconds, stayed on creep, which meant he got surrounded. So his initial 3 marines were killed, and they shouldn't have. Those 3 marines should not have been killed. They should have been kiting further off of creep to be able to maintain themselves, reinforce, and get up to 6 marines, and then protect that bunker. And if that bunker gets up and running, different game. Different kind of story there, but in the end Moja did slip up, and with that we're going to the ace match. Let's go. We're going to game 3 and we'll see how this story ends. Again, the final game of the series, the final game of the broadcast, and spawning in the top right hand corner here of Tourmaline, we have the Swedish Zerg player, the yellow Zerg, representing Team Roddy. It is Fjant. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player, the German Terran. It is Moja. And he's doing it again. He's doing it again because we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, at least 2 SCVs being sent across the map here, going for a proxy 2-racks. Not as committed if we don't send the 3rd SCV, but regardless, aggression nonetheless out of Moja, setting up his marines and getting ready to assault that low ground. Let's go. As you can see, only 2. Okay, so only 2 SCVs this time, only 2 Raxes. This is a macro build. This is designed to force an overreaction, to force a bigger response out of the Zerg player, to punish that bigger response, and then to be able to macro behind it instead. So we'll see. We shall see. We'll see if Fjant does fall for it. Let's go. Yeah, as you can see, gases are being taken. Like, this is already Moja working on those steps to get a factory back at home. It's working on it. Oh, the initial Overlord scout will confirm though. And what's important here is that this Overlord should get eyes on 2, not 3 Raxes. Now, technically, it is not uncommon in this to go for this build where you go 2 Raxes here on the right, and then you hide the 3rd Rax behind the tall grass. Overlord does confirm the initial proxy. 2 SCVs are revealed. Boys are being pulled. And this is the correct response. This is the correct response here. Will deny the first bunker. And already a rough start for Moja. A rough start. Spine's on the way. Getting a queen, getting more lings. It's going to be on Fjant here to minimize losses. He will pull back the weaker drone. Nice control. Oh! Yeah, nice control so far. Drones are low, but doesn't lose a single drone. Delays the bunker. Once again, chasing the Marines. Will lose 1, will lose 2. Yeah, 2 drones do go down. Zones away the bio army. Denies the bunker. Kills both SCVs. And now we can just go back to mining. Now we can just go back to mining here. This is some of the will lose 1 Zergling here. We don't have to focus on the bunker. Spine Crawler moves up and Fjant holds. Fjant, he does hold on. A pretty clean defense. Pretty clean defense. Did lose 2 drones, but he killed 2 SCVs, so it's fine. So clean defense here by Fjant. He can now camp the production. Going for the Raxes. Catching at the Marine. Very nice catch. Yeah, catching at every Marine actually. That's going to be 5 Marines going down. Ay, ay, ay. Moja was already working on the transition, and I did mention that Proxy 2-Rax is not an all-in. It's a macro build, you transition behind it, but ideally you want more damage dealt. This was not good enough. Yeah, not good enough damage. With this Fjant, he's now fully saturating on 2 bases. Joining up his main. Link speed is on the way. This can lead into a 3rd. So far, Fjant looking good. So far. We'll see where Moja takes us. Behind this, going for his own 2-1-1 follow-up, or I guess 1-1-1 follow-up, as he's throwing away one of the Raxes. Early Viking? Ah, BC? It's going to be Viking first into Hype. Never mind, not BC. Going into Hype Flight Road is going to Speed Banshees into Mech. Okay. So we're going into another variation of Battle Mech. In game 1, we saw BC Battle Mech. Here it's going to be Banshee Battle Mech instead. Banshees do have a little potential, of course. There's that 3rd command center. Now the correct call here from Fjant is just drone. Just drone, saturate his bases, and also try to confirm, try to scout what's happening. Wing speed is done.
A new queen has emerged.
Oh dog! Yeah, he collapses in, getting us around. Almost surrounds a Hellion. More, but better than that, it gets into the main, confirms the Banshee. Yeah, sees the Banshee, sees the researching tech lab as well. Big scout here from Fjant. He also might confirm the CC. Oh, does. Yeah, does confirm the 3rd command center as well. Knows there's no 2-base all-in going on. And Fjant knows to drone and get spores. He knows. Yeah, legs a flood on forward here. They surround one of the Hellions. He gets 1, he gets, wow, he gets 2. Yeah, both Hellions are caught. Massive pickoffs. Allows Fjant to freely drone. To freely saturate. He confirmed there was no add-on on the factory either. Well, he needs the queens and spores. Queens, spores, and drones. The Lings are keeping the Banshee back home. There's that 2nd factory and 3rd factory. As we mentioned again, Banshee into Mech. But Moja is stumbling his way into this 2-base setup. Banshee does get some drone kills though. Hold on. Okay. Does get 1 drone kill. 1 drone goes down. Baneliness on the way, despite being aware of the mech. That is a very bold choice. Going Ling Bane can be difficult against Battle Mech. Not impossible, but is difficult. As opposed to getting to a more traditional Roach Ravager style. This typically means Ling Bane Hydra. Which would make more sense actually. Ling Bane Hydra is better against a more Banshee heavy composition, so you get anti-air, right? You do want anti-air with your army. Oh. I assumed Ling Bane Hydra. No, it's going to be Ling Bane into Spire. Okay. That's going to be the anti-air of choice. Interesting. This can lead into meter play, by the way. As it is going to be a kill, not a cancel on the 4th. Even catching a queen. Gets 1, gets 2. We should snipe the way. There we go. I was a little bit concerned. They'll snipe the expansion. A little bit messy control there by Moja to lose said Banshees though. A little bit unnecessarily. And we're going to make up our minds here. Again, I initially thought it was going to be Ling Bane Hydra, and it looks like it is. Cancel the Spire. Did cancel in the end. It looks like maybe Fjant just wasn't aware if it was going to be Battle Mech. Maybe he thought it was going to be into Bio, which is possible. But now it's aware that it's Battle Mech. Maybe thought it was going to be Bio instead. We're here, double Banshee. They can one-shot drones. He can one-shot. He will. 1, 2, up to 3. 2 drone kills. Banshee falls. That's not quite worth it for Moja. Bearing in mind, this was a bigger commitment from the Terran. He got not just Banshees. He didn't just get Cloak. He got Hyperflight Rotors as well. It was a big investment into these Banshees, and I would say so far they've not paid for themselves. They did kill a base. I mean, true, I guess they did kill an expansion. That's something. Just being active. It's being active. Likewise, Fjant pushing out. Fjant, he's got his more or less ideal economy here, and we'll see if Moja can hold on. Now, bearing in mind he's on siege. If he sieges up his Liberators and his tanks, I do think he can take this fight. Gets spotted. Does go for the siege. Gets caught though. Yeah, tanks are exposed. Massive tanks are going to be going up there. Yeah, massive connections. And the non-nothing Bane. Non-nothing Bane here. The Hydras, they crumble against the tanks. A very rough fight there for Fjant. And Moja, he lost only 1 Liberator. Out of all his siege units, he lost 1 Liberator. A much better fight for Moja. And this is where Fjant is falling behind. If you recall, we mentioned at the start of this that Roach Ravager is a lot more common against mech. It's just more efficient with Biles and with the robustness of Roach Ravager. But going Ling Bane Hydra against Battle Mech is viable, but this is not Battle Mech. Not anymore. It's a heavy tank style instead. Less Cyclones. We have more tanks being produced as we speak, so a heavy tank count. This is where Ling Bane Hydra struggles. This is where you need Vipers. Without Vipers, you cannot break this. I guess the other way, though, is Drop Lords. True, true. Drop Lords is a way to bypass the army. Hive is on the way. We need those Vipers. Moja hunkering down that center expansion. He's hunkered down. He's got his tanks. But there is an opening here. There's 1 tank protecting the 3rd base, and there's nothing in the main. So here we go. We're going for the Doom Drop. So here we go, we have a Doom Drop moving in. Making our way into the main. It does make his way in. Moja Heat Defense Center expansion. And we're getting into the production. Can we get into the factories? So far, does force a lift. Quick reaction by Moja. Does lose minimal SCVs. Fjant tries to move in, but ooh, he runs into a wall of tanks. And Liberation has arrived, and honestly, this drop doesn't get much done. Delays mining in the main base, and caught one Thor. One Thor went down. I want to say 1 tank as well. Okay, better drop. Ooh, suddenly 13 SCVs, 14. Okay, much better here. 14 SCV kills. This does make up for it. I want to say part of that was friendly fire. Partly. Two SCVs. As Fjant even gets away with a handful of units. Oh god! Gets away with a handful of units. Yeah, it does pull away. Behind this, we have this. The Hive is now done. We have a Greater Spire on the way. Interesting. Trying to dive in. Once again, though, you cannot break this position without Vipers. And we're not going for Vipers. We're going for Infestors. Okay. Infestors are in production. And Fungals are okay against this. They're not ideal though. Neurals are better against Mass Thor, and Thors are amassing, so there's a place for Infestors. But I just worry there's not much to support the infestors. There's not much on the ground. Yeah, Moja's overwhelming. He's just overwhelming the army. He's just bullying his way across the map. Tanks are sieging. Base is exposed. Infestors, they try to waddle in. They try. Oof. And Moja's doing it. Yeah, he's leapfrogging forward here with his tanks, with his liberators. We have 10 broods on the way. That's the one Hail Mary play here for Fjant. How many Thors are there? Only 4. Only 4 Thors. And they're quite low. So we can dive in. If we can neural 2 of these Thors, the Broodlords can take care of the rest. We just got to neural. And focus down the Thors. Here they come. This is it. This is Fjant's moment. Yeah, he's moving in. Broodlords are revealed. Moja has to get the hell out of here. And pulls away. Yeah, Moja, he does race back home. A couple of tanks going to be abandoned. He's going to lose one of the Thors. He'll lose one. He might lose everything. Yeah, he's forced to fight. He cannot get out. And Moja, he will lose everything here. Every Thor, every tank. Heavy losses for Moja. He did not make it back home. He did not make it back. And Fjant has done it. Fjant has done it. I was concerned about not getting into Viper tech and not having Vipers to support, but the Mass Broodlord switch was worth in the end. It was worth it. Didn't even need to neural, actually. True. The Infestors didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. It was no fungal, no neural. They're there for moral support, Bappy. We got you. We got you. There we go. Neural towards the end. Does neural the Thor. And GG. GG gets called. Whew, the whole fight swinging in favor of Fjant towards the end, with those 10 Broodlords able to make a stand, able to collapse in the army. Again, Moja was not ready for that. Remember, he only had 4 Thors. He only had 4 Thors with the main army. He had no Vikings either. Unprepared. Pants were down. GG. And congratulations, Fjant will claim the series. Whew. GG, well played. Things are looking dire there for Fjant, and I can see if a couple of things hadn't gone his way, I mean, Moja would have snowballed out of control. Specifically, I'm thinking about the Doom Drop. Remember, initially the Doom Drop wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. He delayed mining in the main base. He caught a Thor. He caught a tank. That's kind of it. Didn't really get much done. But then he dropped into the 3rd. And then he killed 14 SCVs. 14 SCV kills. I actually might have been 15. So very nice damage there by Fjant to find damage with that Doom Drop to slow down the Terran, to give him time to get a Hive. Remember, the Hive was late. It was a later Hive out of Fjant, a later realization of what was happening, but the drop play helped when it comes to transitioning into Hive tech, into the Broodlords, buying time, slowing down Moja. If Moja had pushed, imagine that move out 30 seconds earlier, 1 minute earlier, that would have been game, right? Like, that would have hit pre-Broodlord, and then suddenly Fjant cannot hold on. So it's crucial that delays occurred to give him the time to get those Broodlords, as that was a very tight timing there from Fjant. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Fjant will claim the series. And with that, we have wrapped up our broadcast for the day. If you're out there, can help update some of these brackets, by the way. Hold on. We got you. We got you. Do it live. Let's have a look. As I don't think they require maps to be added. Okay. But GG, well played. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. Just looking for the upper bracket score. There we go. Shameless versus Yudi Soldier. So Shameless, he takes out Yudi Soldier 2-0 to advance on to face off against GG Machine. Then we had I'm still not used to this new format, by the way. One day we'll get used to it. We'll get used to it. Okay. So Rebellion need 2-0 to Baby Marine to advance on to the next round. Likewise, Art, he took down Sebestus 2-0 as well. And we had Fjant take down Minizerg 2-1. Went all the way to the ace match. True. Went all the way to the ace match. Then we had Art versus Jimmy, which I believe did go Art's way. Yep, did go Art's way 2-0. And we had Homeowner versus Lelix, where Homeowner, he clowned Bappy. 2-0 over Lelix. And then we just had Moja versus Fjant. Went to the ace match. Beautiful. All right, let's go. Okay. So I just made some edits here on the Wikipedia page, but there we go. So we have our results coming in. Very quickly here, we do have Shameless versus GG Machine. They are going to be facing off in the upper bracket finals. That will most likely be taking place next week. Either next week or the week after that. We'll see. Again, this is a multi-month event, is the OSC Elite Rising Star. There are just so many games, so many matches that are going to be played, and they do take quite some time to get going here. So again, Shameless versus GG Machine, that'll be happening either next week or the week after that. Meanwhile, we have the lower bracket, which is still ongoing. There's still a lot to go. There's still a lot to progress here in that lower bracket. Bam! As you can see, we just wrapped up. So we have Rebellion. He just 2-0'd Baby Marine. You have to input. It's going to be Rebellion versus Hacker's Top coming up next week. We then have Art. He took down Jimmy. Art is going to be waiting for the winner of Hacker's Top and Rebellion. We then have Homeowner, he 2-0'd Lelix. Fjant 2-1 to Moja. So we have Homeowner versus Fjant, also going to be ongoing next week as well. Meanwhile, I believe the player knocked down here alongside Art is going to be UD Soldier. Yes, UD Soldier is going to be down here as well. So we still have to make some updates on the bracket, but next week it's going to be Rebellion versus Hacker's Top, it's going to be Honmono versus Fjant, and it's most likely going to be Shameless versus GG Machine as well. So we have some upcoming matches coming up next week, baby. Next week we will get there. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Bam! As you can see, we do have our weekly schedule here. Here you can see on Monday we only have the one broadcast, only one broadcast. We will not be casting the War TV Monday tonight. We're going to be taking the evening off just because we do need some time to ourselves. As I mentioned previously, I do apologize. We did not cast the RSL over the weekend. The reasoning for that is because there was an emergency. There was a bit of an emergency with my pet bunny. We did have to. We rushed to the hospital around like midnight. It was so it was very stressful. That was on Friday night. It was Friday night that happened, and that's why we were unavailable over the weekend with Saturday and Sunday to cast. I'll say Chi, she's recovering. She's back home. She's with us. She's recovering. She's okay. She's okay. For those that are aware, there's been a bit of a story with Chi that's occurred at the start of the year, but basically Chi, she was born with a deformity. She's our pet bunny. She was and it took a while for us to figure out what it was. We like very early on we realized something was wrong, and we had to have like an ultrasound and a CT scan, and a bunch of tests occurred and happened to try to figure out what was going on. She was born with a deformity where her throat doesn't close completely when she's breathing. I say her throat, I think it's her larynx, or I have the proper verbiage somewhere. But basically, like her throat doesn't completely close. This means that she's like vulnerable to stress when it comes to like hyperventilating, for example, and having some issues breathing when stressed out, when there's too much heat. Likewise, she's also more prone to like dust, to hay dust as well. Even if like she maybe eats things too quickly, like it can cause like choking or things like that. Like she just has a deformity. She has like swelling there as well, so you do have to take extra care when it comes to her, and it was very, very stressful as well. It also means that she can't go under regular anesthesia either, otherwise she's under threat of not being able to get enough oxygen. So there's like a bunch of complications that come in with Chi. If you remember, initially we thought there was an issue with her heart, like because the reason why everything started, and the reason why we realized something was wrong, was because she had an abnormally low heart rate, and that was found out at the start of the year, and we had to go through a process as to trying to figure out why her heart rate was abnormally low. That's why originally we thought there was something wrong with her heart. Found out that it wasn't about her heart, it was about her respiratory system instead. So extra care has to be taken with her, and we've got to be careful with her. But she's more prone to certain things, and likewise something that we've noticed as well is that she doesn't drink as much water either, which might be related to like irritation and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, so there were some complications over the weekend, but she's okay, she's recovering, but because of that, we'll be, you know, taking the evening off to make sure she's okay and she recovers. And likewise, that also means that we have to restart the bonding process. For those who are unaware as to how rabbits work, we have two pet bunnies. They're sisters, and they were in the process of being rebonded. But the issue is, because of all these vet visits that we've had with Chi-Chi, whenever we go for a vet visit, her scent changes. And whenever her scent changes, like, bunnies are very reliant on scent and on smell. Whenever she comes back, her sister's like, "Who are you?" And there's like tension there. They have to be separated before being reintroduced to each other. So we were like on the cusp of them being bonded once again, and on them being really close. And now that bond has been broken, and now it's reset again, and we got to start from scratch, which is it's taken some time. It's taken months. Have to restart again. Feels bad, man. So that's the process as well. Was it me, or did the GSL coverage yesterday get cut short? It did. I do apologize for that. I believe we were towards the very end of Zan. I think it was Zan versus Rogue. Yeah, Zan versus Rogue yesterday. The power went out in the area, in the entire like suburb. Like, we just lost electricity, and so the GSL stream on Sunday was cut short. We will have to rebroadcast that at some point, of course, and we will. Most likely, we're probably going to wait until the GSL semis and finals broadcast, and then we'll just do it all together. But yes, yesterday it did get cut short because we lost power. So do apologize. It's out of our control. It's a little bit frustrating. But yeah, with that GG we'll play it. And also, if you want to help us out, by the way, that's why, I don't know if you can see just under me, we have the Bunny Vet Fund. It's been very expensive, Chi-Chi's vet visits, like thousands of dollars at a time. So if you want to help us out, you can do so via donation links to help out with Chi-Chi. If you want to see her, there are some photos of her and videos in our Discord server if you're interested. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Sorry, I didn't even get to talk about our schedule. Bam, you can see it there. We have the Enki Epic Series on Tuesday. We have Sparkling Tuna Cup tomorrow evening as well. Fun fact, that's going to be on the PTR. Our tournaments are going to be on the PTR. Pickers Cup that's on Wednesday, also going to be on the PTR. What else is going to be on the PTR? So we have our tournament, Tuna Cup. We have Pickers Cups on the PTR. Kung Fu Cup, from as far as I know, is also going to be in the PTR as well. I don't think Wardy is hosting his events on the PTR. I know that he has a strong stance about that, and he also doesn't want to forego OSC sponsorship, I'm sure. So I don't think Wardy's going to be having his events on the PTR. But there's a very high chance that the Monday Night Weekly and KSL will be on the PTR as well. So a bunch of PTR tournaments are on the horizon to test all the changes that are coming in StarCraft. So look forward to that. That'll be happening, of course. Otherwise, you have the podcast on Wednesday, Amanthus, so we are catching up with Wardy's Monday tournaments on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and of course we have the GSL finals on Sunday. As I mentioned previously, we might be showing the end of the group stage before GSL, just because we didn't get around to that last time because of the power getting cut out. We'll figure it out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, bye, ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego.